This video is in honor of you, Gus. Pop a cold one. Let's talk. What I wanted to do was try to remember some of the good times with Gus Malzahn as head coach. Go through the bad times and the points that I think got him fired. Some of the good times, I mean, the kick six will go down in infamy forever.
Greatest play in college football history, hands down, will never be recredited.
Another top 5 play, the prayer at Jordan Hare.
That one was also incredible.
He beat Alabama 3 times in 8 years. That's something nobody else has done.
Beat 2 number 1 teams
in the same season in a 3-week span. Let's see, what else has he done?
He was 3 games above 500, I think, as a head coach at Auburn.
Yeah, but shout out to the War Report. Love your channel. Y'all go look it up. Check them out. They made a point on their show or their live stream earlier today that I had not even thought of, and that three wins every year, bought and paid for at a conference.
Yep.
You know, so I think Gus is a good coach. I think he can go somewhere else, and maybe a conference that's not as hard as Auburn, and do great things. Or a conference not as hard as Auburn. A conference not as hard as the SEC.
Anything can happen on any given day, unless you're Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but you know, he did take us to a bowl game every year. Now he only won 2 of them. I don't know how he can beat Alabama 3 out of 8 years, but only win 2 bowl games.
Yeah. That's just to show how inconsistent he was.
Yeah, he went to 2 SEC championships, won 1, and completely choked the other one away with a terrible game plan.
Yeah.
Everybody, I hear a lot of people wanting to say that he did alter his offense and he did move. I'm not talking about he did. He went from his first year there to 80 to 90% run to 50, 60, and sometimes even 70+% pass. I mean, he took a big swing, but he never would in game make changes, in my opinion. If his game plan could not work for 4 quarters, we were losing that game.
I just feel like he a lot of times was under immense pressure, and he didn't want to make a change to his game plan that he thought was going to work and just screw us out of a game.
Yeah.
Because most games we were in it at halftime, and just in the second half, either Bama, when we would lose, they would just take off and just run away.
Right.
Because they would make changes, but Auburn was afraid to make changes.
And another thing is, the first 2 seasons, I can't remember who he had at defensive coordinator. And then he went Muschamp at defensive coordinator. And then he went Kevin Steele. And I think what he got into was relying on that 1 year with Muschamp, and then Kevin Steele taking what Muschamp had started and just elevating it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, that year we had
He relied on defense way too much. Now, I mean, we, like, hands down, Auburn, but we have some defense every year. Even as bad as it looked at times this year, we still top tier SEC defense.
Every year. They would keep us in it as long as they possibly could. And then eventually you keep bending, and then you keep bending, and 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Those big uglies up front get tired, and the corners get tired of running hard.
And you break.
Yeah.
But anyhow, more good things about Gus. The players loved him. I don't believe this team ever quit on him. I know some people out there are saying they think the team was starting to quit on him, and they may have started, but every game I've watched this year, these boys left their heart and soul out there on the field. Be it win, be it loss, they left it out there. Just 0-12 on the road against Auburn, against Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. 0-12 on the road. That's going to get you fired. You cannot go to our biggest rivals and lose. If you want to add Florida in there, we played Florida on the road. Florida's a big rival of Auburn's. We lost it too. As a man, I would have no problem sending Bubba down to Auburn to play for Gus Malzahn. As a man, he is a great role model. He's just a really good man that I would not have a bit of problem with my son going and playing for him. I know he's not going to grab my son's face mask and dog cuss him. At the same time, the coaches that do that are the ones that are winning national championships. So, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. Now, I hate to see the era end. I really wanted great things for Auburn with Gus Malzahn in charge. It just didn't happen. It really did not happen, and I'm heartbroken and excited at the same time because you're losing a coach that you've had for 8 years, and you pull for him, and at times you get mad at him and say something you really don't mean because you know next week you're going to be sitting in front of your TV cheering them on again. And he's gone, but I'm excited for what the next season holds. I really think that Auburn has a plan in place, and I think they know who they're going to hire. I really hope it's not Kevin Steele. I mean, I would get on board and I would support him, but I really hope it's not Kevin Steele.
One, he's too old. Number two, I just don't think he's made to be a head coach.
He may not be. If Auburn already knows who their next head coach is, I gotta believe it's either Hugh Freeze or Mario Cristobal. I gotta believe they have been in their office, in the back, talking, and they know that they can nail down the deal and get the signature and bring them in.
Yeah, I don't know if they'd let him go with that amount of money just in case they want to go get a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're comfortable going into next year with Kevin Steele as our head coach.
Which, they say the people down at Auburn are very high on them.
Well, obviously they're high on him. Like, obviously. I'm sure Alabama would be perfectly fine in their fans' minds if Nick Saban retired today with Sark taking over. But that don't mean it'll work out.
True.
Fans are going to be high on everybody. Regardless, they're like, oh, that third string running back, I saw him at practice the other day. He was killing them in walkthroughs.
Yeah. That's another thing I'm excited about. Seeing what a hopefully elite recruiter can do, recruiting elite talent to block for Tank.
Yeah. Because Tank, behind a subpar offensive line against Mississippi State yesterday, ran the ball 26 times for 170 yards, and I don't even know if he was healthy or not.
Gus said he was about 80%.
Well, 80%, you don't run the man 26 times.
If you're Gus, you do. Because if he's 100%, you're running him close to 40.
Well, if we get Cristobal, I'll be happy with it. I just hope we get a coach who's going to be like, okay, I got this guy to do this job and this guy to do this job. Let them do their jobs. You be the CEO, and you just kind of like keep your hands on the offense and the defense a little bit here and there. That's what Nick Saban does.
Nick Saban, he might not be anymore, but I know he used to be very hands-on with the secondary.
Yeah, and I'm cool if we get a coach like Luke Fickell, I believe. Where did he play? I think he played D-line, a D-end, outside linebacker. If we get him and he just, he's very hands-on with the linebackers, I'm cool with that too. I hope we get a guy in.
I hope we get one of our top three. Because the only one I think that we had that was different was I had Brent Venables and you had Luke Fickell. But this video is supposed to be about Gus.
I know it's about Gus. And I love Gus. And I'm going to map out Gus's future. I want him to go to LSU, be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be a perfect job for him. Because Ed Orgeron saw, which Gus would be a great offensive coordinator if he could get all the guys he wanted. And Ed Orgeron recruits phenomenally.
Elite.
He could go there, get a smaller job, go to maybe Arkansas State. Arkansas, he could go 8-5, and they would be so happy.
Arkansas's got their head coach.
I know they got their head coach, but maybe he's got ties in there. Get him in there. Arkansas State, which is obviously where he started out at, I believe, as a head coach after high school. After being a high school head coach, you go there, you have a phenomenal career, eventually work your way back up to an SEC head coaching job, maybe in your 60s. Maybe you're more wise, maybe you're smarter, those are the same thing. But it doesn't always work out the first time around.
Worked out pretty damn good. It worked out to the tune of a $21.5 million buyout, I think is what it is.
I know he's good financially, but I'm talking about maybe he can come up, be a great story, maybe win a freaking national championship at Arkansas. We don't know. I want Gus to be as successful as he possibly can. If he goes to LSU, he's offensive coordinator. LSU Auburn games will be even more exciting every year.
Now, they're already pretty exciting.
I love you, Gus. Just not as my head coach.
Gus is a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Great guys don't always make great head coaches, though.
And he
Vandy head coach, that dude was I heard he was the nicest guy on the planet. Ex-Texas head coach, I heard he was the nicest guy.
Charlie Strong.
Yeah, I sure heard he was the nicest guy, but nice guys don't always make great head coaches.
No, Charlie Strong's a hell of a defensive coordinator.
So is the dude at Vandy.
Derek Mason.
Yeah, that dude was also very good defense coordinator.
But
also hope he gets a really strong D coordinator job.
I mean, the victories this year, the victory over LSU, I think I was jumping up and down because he finally got Anthony Schwartz behind the defense and hit him with a pass. It was so great to see. I've been wanting to see that kid in open field with the ball in his hand since he came to Auburn.
But they come very, very sparsely. They don't come very
I
often.
think he had two this year, one against LSU and one against Tennessee. But I was so excited to see it.
Man, we got an extremely talented team. And if whoever comes in gets their hand on Bo, gets their hand on the team,
maybe it gets better.
yeah. Love this team. But they just couldn't do it this year.
No, and just like every year, being an Auburn fan, there's always next year.
Yeah, well, I've been looking forward to next year. I'm going to be 80. Looking forward to next year.
You and Uncle Lou, because Georgia ain't winning shit.
Hope not. That would suck.
I can't stand Georgia.
I love Uncle Lou, though.
Love
I love
Uncle
him
Lou.
and hate him.
Love Uncle Lou. Love your channel, man. You're my homeboy. I love watching you. I'll sit back and I'll go down that rabbit hole for hours and just roll. Just roll. Just die laughing. Love your channel.
If you see this, which you probably won't.
But the victories over Georgia, man,
Every time.
I love beating up on Georgia. Love it. I love beating up on Georgia almost as much as I love beating up on Bama.
I don't know. The first time I saw Auburn beat Bama was pretty great.
Yeah. So I said I love watching them beat Georgia almost as much as I love watching them beat Bama.
I love Auburn. Man, every time we win, it feels like a big win. Like when we beat Mercer, it felt huge. even though it was terrible. And we
Well,
slid after that game.
Yeah, that's because it was a bad year.
That wasn't a bad year. I think that was the best year. I think that was the year we beat Bama and Georgia.
Yeah, you're right. It was, but that was a bad game. I mean, that game was within 7 points for forever.
Yeah, that was I think that was our first year with Stidham.
Maybe, yeah, because of Georgia and Bama both in the same year was Stidham. Man, if we had Stidham and Schwartz at the same time on the field, we had them at the same time, just didn't have them on the field.
Man, Ryan Davis, that connection
Darius
was
Slayton.
Darius Slayton. He'd catch like one pass every 3 games that would go for like 40 yards.
Yeah.
Ryan Davis.
Now he's doing it. He's doing his thing up in New York.
Yeah, Ryan Davis, like he probably accounted for like 50% of our catches that year.
He did.
Bubble screen.
Bubble screen.
When it worked.
Bubble screen. Bubble screen.
And then like a little fake slant thing.
Slant and go.
I don't know what this video is.
I don't either, man. We're just I'm talking. No.
If you're still here.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I'd really love it if everybody opted to come back, use their extra year of eligibility, and we got a coach in there, like a great offensive mind like Hugh Freeze, and he could get his hands on this offense and just see where it goes, man, because it will be awesome. Be awesome to see, an offense with a good offensive mind that's not too stubborn to change. But on to other things that got Gus Malzahn fired: lack of ability to develop a quarterback, lack of ability to recruit elite offensive line, so we never had elite offensive line play.
It would come like 10 plays at a time.
Yeah. Lack of ability, halftime adjustments. Always looking over his shoulder. I mean, this man thought everybody was a spy trying to steal his plays. That's why all of his assistants, I mean, you don't have great assistants. I think Kevin Steele's probably our best assistant coach.
That we've had since he got
and nobody wants to take his buyout. That's why we don't have nobody coming for him. But, and nobody's coming and plucking our wide receivers coach or our running back coach.
That's how the things work. Even if they leave and they go tell somebody your place, that's why the game plan comes into effect. You know you're going up against the guy that used to work for you.
No, that's not even the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is if you have great assistants, people are coming and poaching them. Nobody ever poached a Gus Malzahn assistant. All of them got fired.
Did we fire Chip Lindsey or did he just leave?
Yeah, we got rid of him.
We fired Chip Lindsey? I thought he just up and left.
No, it was kind of one of them mutual things because he got tired of Gus not keeping his hands off the offensive game plan. He wanted, going into that SEC championship game, he had a game plan. Gus told him, no, we're doing this game plan. And Gus's game plan got us beat to the tune of like 22 points.
Yeah. You can't put all 22 of that deficit on carry on. No, being healthy.
Another thing that got Gus fired, every year was a rebuilding year. Every year he had a young team. Every year he liked the direction the team was going in.
I've seen a lot of people commenting on our videos that we are not a championship school. But you don't get to a championship school level with a guy who's too stubborn to change his mind.
You're never going to get championship level 8-4 every year.
I don't think
9-3.
Clemson wasn't a championship level team until Dabo finally built that program up.
Yes.
So why don't we work our way up to that level? I don't want to be at LSU, one championship and then it's all done.
Well, I mean, Alabama wasn't a championship contender until Nick Saban got there and built a championship contender. They hadn't won a national championship until, 07, 08, 09?
I think it was Nick
It was
Saban's
09.
second or third year.
It was 2009 because he got there in 07, I think.
And then the guy, Gene Stallings, won their last one before that.
In 1992.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a wide gap. That's a really wide gap.
Yeah.
So Alabama wasn't a championship team until a good coach took them and built a championship team.
Nana lets us know that. She always brings up that.
Yes.
Love you, Nana.
But you have to, the school, the boosters, everybody has to buy in. The board of trustees, everybody has to buy in. And the coach, with everybody bought in and everybody willing to sink the money in, the coach willing to put the time in, the assistant coaches willing to put the time in, and then the next thing you know, 3-4 years down the road, you're winning a national championship.
And then 2 years after that, you're winning another one. And you're always in contention.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think LSU is a one and done. They had a great year with a lot of seniors and a lot of talent. A lot of juniors and seniors. Ed Orgeron ain't gonna fall off a cliff and bump his head and forget how to recruit elite talent.
Yeah, well, he's recruiting elite talent for years before that. But they just could never put it together, and then Joe Brady got that. That's why I want Gus to go there. Because Gus, I think, could rejuvenate the offense, and he's somewhat similar to what Joe Brady did.
Maybe.
A lot of motion.
Maybe.
But it's like not moving the ball down the field a lot and all that other stuff.
But Gus is not an elite recruiter.
That's why I think he should be a coordinator role, so he could be an assistant recruiter. He just tells them, this is what I'm going to do with you in my offense, this is how I'm going to get you the ball, or, who am I kidding? He ain't going to recruit an offensive lineman, but telling a receiver, this is how I'm going to get you the ball, running back, this is how I'm going to get you the ball, quarterback, this is the kind of patterns we run, this is how we're going to move you around, and all that other stuff. I think he could recruit well as an assistant. Wasn't he one of the big ones that got freaking Cam Newton to us?
They say he was. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yeah, they slid him the money, and they showed him what's up.
Auburn did not pay Cam Newton.
I don't care what nobody says. Half these college football players are getting paid. They should be getting paid.
But Mississippi State paid Cam Newton and then got mad because he left. He didn't go there.
We slid him a little bit more.
No.
And Cam knew what was good, and he came so we could actually pay for a laptop.
No.
You're in denial.
No, I'm not a snitch.
Half these guys getting paid anyway. What does it matter? You think
Gus is running a clean program. Just ask anybody that knows. Gus runs a clean program. He don't pay recruits.
The reason Nick Saban recruits so well is because he pays them. I know Tua didn't move from Hawaii to Alabama just because he wanted to move from Hawaii to Alabama.
He wanted to play school at his little brother play at Thompson High School. That's why they come to Alabama.
Well, there's a reason mini Tua T went to Maryland. They slid him a little bit more and promised him a starting spot.
I don't know. He wasn't going to start. Mac Jones was better than his brother.
Mac Jones is a baller. Still looks like a ferret.
Mac Jones is going to win Heisman Trophy more than likely. Kyle Trask coughed it up last night.
Kyle Trask, that man.
2 interceptions.
He is so awkward looking, man.
Yeah, don't go to the Bears, Kyle.
So unorthodox. That play where he was scrambling right and he kind of like threw it. I don't know what he was doing.
Nobody knows what he was doing.
Runs
The
like
Bears
a baby
deserve
giraffe.
a better quarterback than you, Kyle.
You know what? We're gonna cut it here.
You don't even remember your own outro.
Bye.
I guess if this thing comes up short, he can field it and run it out. All right, here we go. 56-yarder. Does not have the leg. And Chris Davis takes it in the back of the end zone. He'll run it out to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see. I cannot believe it. 34-28. And we thought a miracle in Jordan Hare was amazing. Oh my Lord in heaven. Chris Davis just read it. 109 yards. And Auburn is going to the championship game.
Selena, go!